Warm welcome to Commodity Media's cultural program in Pursuit of Roots. During the last so many episodes, we have been discussing the cultural life of ancient people of Kerala, even from 2000 years back. So, in this episode, we are dealing with the ancient units of measurement. Ancient unit of measurements such as weight, distance, length, size, volume, time, etc. Sir,
Yes.
they also calculated time, weighed commodities also.
Yeah.
How it can be explained? That means, what were the classification of commodities of that time?
Yes.
On what basis the commodities were classified
Okay.
then?
Commodities were classified on the basis of the nature of the commodity. Whether it can be counted, whether a commodity, say for example, egg, cannot be weighed, cannot be measured, it can be counted. 10x.
Oh,
Okay.
co-
So they call it ganimum.
countable.
Countable is called ganimum.
Oh, they used it that time.
Yeah, coconut is ganimum.
Oh,
100 coconut. Okay. Then tharimum is
Tharimum.
something that can be weighed, uncountable, but can be measured in terms of weight.
Oh,
There is tharimum.
ganimum, tharimum,
Ganimum, countable.
uncountable,
Tharimum, weighable.
weighable. Not
Weighable,
like
yes.
uncountable, weighable.
Weighable.
That's the exact word.
Then comes the third category of goods that can be measured.
Ah,
Things like liquid
ah,
can be measured. They don't weigh it, they measure it.
measure.
Called mayam.
Mayam.
That is the volume in terms
volume.
of a container used to measure. Mayam. That kind of commodities are called mayam. Not commodities, that method of calculating the width is called mayam.
mayam.
And there is yet another thing that is not at all familiar nowadays. Parichedyam. Parichedyam means just a mental evaluation by a simple look at the commodity.
Oh,
Okay.
A
This
visual
may be by
estimation.
visual estimation. Estimation using eyes.
yes. Visual.
Visual
estimation.
estimation is called the parichedyam.
Oh, parichet.
These are the four different methods by
Parichedyam
which
is not a Malayalam word.
Parichedyam is a Sanskritized word.
Word.
It is Malayalam also.
Are also
Parichedyam.
used.
Yeah, that's also used.
Ah. Then, did there exist any common balance or any other weighing scale in those days?
Simple balance is a relatively new concept.
Oh,
Instead of simple balance, they were using that is right from the Sangham period. Now, people who lived in Tamilagam used coal. Coal. Coal is a rod
Rod.
which can be held by a person and a thing can be hanging from one end.
Oh,
That is coal.
coal.
It is not measuring coal. It is just the
I thought it
weighing
was
coal.
for measuring length. I
Yeah,
thought so.
that is to weigh
To weigh.
to weigh heavy materials.
Ah.
Say for example cashew nut. Anything heavy.
Ah.
They were using velli coal. But it is not made of velli is silver. But it is not made of silver. It is just, they call it velli coal.
It has nothing to do with that
Nothing to
metal.
do with the metal. It is wooden. Just a road, a wooden road with a certain length, 1.5 meters approximately.
Approximately.
That is the length of coal. And there is one more type of coal to measure expensive lightweight materials. Say for example, costly medicine. They are weighed using a smaller coal that is called Karanchi coal. Karanchi coal is a small scale. That is also weighing scale.
Karanch, it is
Karanch
used in Ayurvedam also.
Karanch is used in Karanch is a small measurement is Karanch. Yeah.
What about the size, volume, etc. of the time?
Volume measurement was the most common method of measurement during Sankham period and during the medieval period, even to the last century, up to early 20th century, the volume of a commodity, say for example rice, the paddy, always measured using nari. Okay, nari is a small measuring device, a small this much of thing familiar. Nal nari, that is 4 naris. Nari is something basic. 4 naris make a changari.
Changari and idangari.
Idangari also is changari.
Same.
Yeah. Changari.
Changari and idangari is
that is same. Yeah. Nari, 4 nari. If you count it using 5 nari, there is a device called pakka.
Pakka.
Pakka is 5 nari. So this is how. Then 12 changari makes it a para. One para. Okay. That is even the yield in a paddy field is always measured in terms of nuru para, 100 para paddy field, nuru para kandam.
That is about the space also.
About the space also, but basically they use it in terms of yield, which is measured in using para. And also 10 para makes it a kalam. Kalam.
It is unfamiliar.
Kalam. That's also a measurement. The big pot. Maybe.
Any weight device introduced by pre-colonial and colonial people, the era?
Yeah. Colonial era witnessed weights in the form of ratal, pound, etc. But the pre-colonial weights were slightly different. Okay.
So what about the pre-colonial native weight measuring system?
Pre-colonial weight measurement had a basis called chumad.
That is head load.
That is head load. Yeah. Chumad is
even
head
now
load.
head load is used. Head load workers. Still we have
today head load is not a unit of measurement, but earlier one head load, that means chumad, they say, was 243 pounds, weighing 243 pounds. So that is normally that much of a commodity, weighing 243 pounds. Will be filled in a sack. Would be placed on the head of a worker or a person who is called a chumattagaran. He is the one people used to carry goods by. That is the maximum that a healthy male worker can take. A head load worker can take maximum of more than 100 kilograms. That's the maximum that you can take. Yeah.
100 kilograms.
And Chinese travelers, and also Italian traveler Marco Polo used to describe head loads being brought to Kollam, which is a trading center in 11th, 12th to 13th centuries, and every day 43 chumad of pepper would be 43 chumudu pepper would be brought to Kollam, and one ship would contain 5,000 to 6,000. Those days it is predominantly Chinese ships would contain, can hold approximately 5,000 to 6,000 chumud of pepper. So
pepper.
Those are called kalams. These big ships are called kalam. It is not the measuring kalam, but the ship themselves are called
Vessels themselves.
chunk. Kalam is the Roman ships, and the chunk is the Chinese ship. It is 5,000 to 6,000 chumud of pepper can be stacked inside the various cellars of junk, that is junk, Chinese ship.
Chinese ship. Pepper coming from where?
Coming from the Kotanara, that is eastern hills, maybe Kutanad. They call it, Romans call it Kotanara, and it is a high hills, eastern hills and fertile areas.
From there they carried it to?
They bring it to the Kollam port, which was a flourishing port from 9th century. And that was the time when Arab and Chinese trade was very much active. And they used the measuring in terms of chumad. So foreign trade was based on the calculation chumad. It was not there during the Roman period, that was 1st, 2nd and 3rd century AD. But we are talking about the medieval times, 9th to 13th century. That is what Marco Polo recorded. And another traveler, a Chinese traveler, Mohan, he also talks about the thing, and he talks about a Chinese measurement called Poho. Poho is a Chinese
weight.
It's a weight thing.
So now you have clearly explained the measuring devices used for solid commodities. You would like to know about the measuring devices for liquid commodities?
Of course, liquid commodities like oil or milk, honey, were all measured in terms of tudam. One small stick and a round thing that can be
old generation
use tudam. And there is one more device that is called kuti, mulam kuti. Bamboo.
For putta also kuti.
Kuti, that is also used, mulam kuti, that is a bamboo stem used as a vessel, container. That is a larger measurement. A few tudam poured into bamboo, that makes it a measurement called kuti. So these were the liquid based measurements in olden days.
Not liter.
No liter,
gallon.
No gallon, no liter, nothing. That's all brought by the Europeans.
Finally, we have to know about the difference between length and distance.
Length and distance. Length can be a person's height. You call it height. You don't call it length. A person is 6 feet tall or 5 feet tall, 5 feet 2 inches or whatever in the modern thing. And length means a commodity can be measured in terms of today meter, centimeter or inch can be measured. That is today's measurement. And distance today is measured in terms of kilometer and miles. Miles and kilometers. None of those measurements were there. We'll have to go to the Sankham period and also the medieval period to know what exactly people used to measure. Okay. In fact, measurement was very interesting. It was something to do with the human body and vocation. They were all rice eaters. So what they are familiar with is rice and paddy. The paddy grain was the basic, tiniest of all units. Nellida. That is one small grain, food grain called nelle. 8 grains, paddy grains constitute an angulam. That means a finger. Okay, and a few fingers, 4 or 5 fingers together call it a chan. This much. From the thumb to the spreading the hand like this. From the thumb, the distance between the thumb and the small finger is called one chana. Then comes the elbow distance. Distance between palm and elbow. That is called mujam. Mujam was another measurement. Even sometimes clothes measured in terms of mujam. Okay.
Still some people use.
Some people say. So then there is a measurement called kol, that is bigger than mujam, 2 mujams. That makes it 75 centimeters. That is cloth measured in terms of mujakol, or mujam and also mujakol. And also the construction of house also use the kol. Olden days it is kol, this many kol. It's not like a square meter or square inch or square feet. It is mujak kol. That is the distance. And another measurement was there called the mar. That is mar means the chest and spreading 2 arms on 2 sides makes it width of the entire body. It changes for a tall person. Mar is longer. For a short person, the width of the arms will be a little tinier. So that is another.
It is not a standardized.
Not exactly standardized, but an average is taken. Generally, an average is taken, but it will be roughly, approximately same. People did not give that much importance to these measurements because land was available in plenty. So when you measure, but actually mujakol has a certain correct length equivalent of 75 centimeters is one mujakol. That is standardized thing. Chana, mara, etc. can be angulium, can all be different. Slight difference will be there depending on the size of the body. My point is that time you were asking about the relationship between the distance and length. It was length of something that leads to the distance actually. Distance is measured in terms of kadam. Those days, ancient period, it was kadam. Vara is there. Kadam is 4 miles actually.
4 miles.
4 miles is
They did not use that term mile.
They did not use. There was no mile. It is a European colonial contribution. Kadam and
Kilometer also brought from abroad.
Vara is yard. Equivalent to yard is vara. Okay. Yard. That is vara.
Kilometer also introduced from foreign.
Kilometers is foreign. Miles is very recent addition. Vara was used. Kadam was used. Yeah. Najiga was used. Najiga is also a measurement. Time measurement. Vinadiga. Time is actually length and distance is related to time also.
Time calculation.
Time calculation and length calculation. I was
going to ask about time
was correlated. Today it is not correlated. Then it was correlated.
We people now use time calculation using the terms like seconds, minutes, hours.
Hours. Yeah.
They did not use that.
They used vinajika. One vinajika is the basic smallest unit is vinajika, equivalent to 24 seconds. One vinajika is 24 seconds. And 24 minutes is one najika. Okay. And najika will be measured. Najika is actually 2.5 najika is 1 hour. 24 minutes means 2.5 najika makes it 1 hour. And 60 najika makes it a day. Yeah.
Our 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours. So that is the calculation. And one najika, when you say it is 1.5 kilometers. It is 1 nadiga. When you say 1 nadiga, it will cover the distance of 1.5 kilometers.
Distance also.
Distance also measured in terms
So-
of nadiga.
Even now
So that
we are
means
using-
to walk that much time.
10 minutes walking now, we people use
Yeah,
10
like
minutes
10
walk
minutes
only.
walk. Yeah, it is something
from
like
here.
nadiga.
Ah.
To cover 15 nadiga distance or 15 nadiga time. These are slightly different, but they are using the term nadiga for both time and distance.
In that way, distance and time
Are related, yeah, very much related.
Related.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we have got some valuable information about the units of measurement used by the ancient people. Sir, thank you for your valuable
Very much.
points. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us so far.